I'm sure all of the players are going to love this as well, as long as they go ahead and get the W.
This is it now for Karmine Corp. They've got to defend well. We saw excellent defense out of Team Liquid against Moist. That, I think, was the foundation of their success. Although in offense, Team Liquid are just unreal. Karmine Corp have been unreal this event as well. And just this region, or just this split as a whole, they've been phenomenal. But already, BDS have put one past them. It was an attempted back corner touch here from Astral. He just didn't get it in a safe enough location, though. He's got to hit that next to the wall, not out into the box, where Monkey Moon will always be shooting.
Yep, and for BDS, this is the way that you instantly set yourself down into the series. Not going to have the same worries that Moist eSports had in the previous round, where they couldn't get a single goal. Itachi now off the shot. Astral's going to be called off as Nolly is moving in. Have they answered back? Oh, the post will deny.
And great try there to immediately answer back, like you mentioned. But I think it's going to be pretty tough to break down this BDS team, who have just gelled so well together immediately as soon as they added Seiko to the roster. They're still every bit as dominant as they ever were with Mark by 8, but I think in a more consistent way. They don't look vulnerable. They don't look like they're having to take risks to dominate. The Monkey Moon closes the door on Itachi's flip reset attempt. Karmine Corp steadily getting more and more shots on net though here. This is definitely great output, although none of them have been too much of a problem for BDS just yet.
Talking about the consistency. Oh, my second Astral playing downfield. Almost managed to get his own chance, but Astral just dunked the ball and play on into the other side of the field. This is a team that, with the previous roster, their level of consistency was, can they win 3 regionals in a row? That is what Seiko is trying to live up to here. Can he provide them international glory to go along with what they've managed to achieve, at least regionally? Good infield pass. Extra immediately shut down by Astral. And that leaves Seiko. This 2-on-1 if they can get the play moving nice and quick. I like that. Jump up early. Know that Monkey Moon is just back. And this with the support of Extra as well. However, Karmine Corp not backing down from this midfield battle. There's the infield. A little bit too close to Seiko. They're holding on well, though. Not just instantly going for the shot, like we have seen quite a few teams do against BDS. Instead, they're happy just to settle down. Didn't get anything from this play, Johnny, but that's encouraging signs.
Yeah, very much so. Karmine Corp are holding their own here, and I think they've got a goal. They have. Astral recovers quickly from a 50-50 win and sends the ball to the bottom right corner.
Astral just went all the way for it. Fully believed. Knew he had the support even if it went wrong, and that's the position that Karmine Corp need to find themselves in more often. A rare time as well for BDS. They do not often just lose the challenge. Well, they did get themselves all caught up that time around. 1-1, 3 minutes left. Seiko immediately booms the ball downfield as Monkey Moon against Nolly. Nolly wins that race. Midfield looking pretty good for Karmine Corp.
Yeah, we've got to remember, even before Karmine Corp added Nolly as another shot bounced off the post here, Monkey Moon just denied by Nolly's 50-50. Monkey Moon himself said that Karmine Corp were one of the teams that they were expecting to be a threat, and always wondered when they would show their full potential. That was the team who gave them trouble before this season started, but had never really managed to get to the same gear during this RLCS 2021-22 season. But now, with that rejuvenation, as you know, changing a player can often just completely revitalize a team, and that's what's happening with Karmine Corp here with the addition of Nolly. They look like they're getting more of that success, which has been heralded by many of their opponents. Extra's going to be 1v1 here with Nolly. Stands strong in the way. Extra couldn't get much of an angle on the approach.
Yeah, just the ball always running away from Extra. Couldn't get under it to really set much up. Still 2 minutes left. How important it was for Karmine Corp to get that goal back early, because this is where BDS would have done their best work. Forcing you to take those extra risks, and it still might happen. Astral off the pre-jump. Kept himself open, kept himself available for different options. And he is able to get the block. This is also something we've seen a lot more recently, where teams don't try and hold onto the midfield quite as much. Happy to play back into their own corner and reset.
A very organized performance so far from Karmine Corp. Now Itachi 1v1 with Monkey Moon. Monkey Moon will keep that one in the back corner, but it's then sent back into the middle by Astral. Karmine Corp, despite having plenty of positions here where they could definitely overextend and really stretch themselves thin looking for that goal, which is often so hard to come by against BDS. They're playing so disciplined at the moment. They're waiting for the opportunities. Monkey Moon's denying every single one of them. Now Extra pre-jumps to the next shot. Karmine Corp are knocking on the door, but can they find a way through?
Yeah, for Karmine Corp, they've just got to accept that it will work eventually. And don't go too much for it unless the goal is pretty much assured. Is Seiko not going to be able to draw? Oh, he does still get close to it.
Wow.
Let's take it away from Monkey Moon, so Karmine Corp at least recover possession temporarily. It's a low boost affair over in the midfield. Everyone else trying to back down, get themselves reorganized. But for now, it's Karmine Corp that are up against it. The positioning a little bit wonky as Itachi gets there just in time. What a shot by Seiko.
Nolly looking to knock the ball on. Couldn't get underneath it despite knocking it into the back corner there. But Monkey Moon is beaten. Seiko needing to come and help him out. Astral able to beat Extra to the punch. As Karmine Corp continue to look lively here. Continue to look very consistent in this matchup. It's been a very evenly matched game one. Mistake early on from Astral, but then he was the one who scored the equalizer. So this one really looking like it could go the right pre-jumping. Nolly denied by the crossbar.
That was the first time that we've seen them send Astral afterwards, but Karmine Corp was still covered, even if that went really wrong. But that should have potentially been it. We were talking about not overextending. Can't find the pass over to a teammate. So we have overtime. But Karmine Corp might feel like they should have won this already.
I think they've had the more chances for sure. Definitely the volume of opportunities. BDS have been in the way of the vast majority of them. You've always got to get the ball past that extra player. Still difficult to walk it into an open net against such an organized defense, but check Astral out with the floor pinching defense. Unconventional, but incredibly effective. Monkey Moon, flip reset past one, but he's got more players to get past as well. Seiko also blocked by the first challenge. Karmine Corp doing a great job here, just making contact with the ball with the first player that they send. They're not worrying about getting outplayed. They're just playing the ball, making life easy on each other.
There's a lot of attempts to make sure that the recovery is as good as possible. They're not trying to win the ball off the challenge and send it to the other side of the field. It's just make sure you're popping the ball away from the original player. And then after that, make sure you're back in position as quickly as possible. It has worked so far for Karmine Corp. As we're back into that midfield battle, Seiko to himself off the backboard. He's going to have to leave it. That first touch far too high. Although two players gone, leaves the option open for Extra. Chooses backboard. Where's the follow?
Wow.
There it is.
And all it took was one mistake. One double commit led to a panic play. Astral and Itachi weren't sure whose job it was to go for the ball. Extra perfectly passes off to Monkey Moon, who will not miss if you give him a good look at the goal. He's scored both of his clear-cut chances this game. I think that's still a great effort, though, from Karmine Corp. They panicked at the end there, but their game plan looks to be pretty good. And I think in the mechanical matchup, at least at the moment, with the game one BDS, they look pretty good. But as we know, BDS have got levels to their game. They can definitely elevate here. So, it's a shame for Karmine Corp that they couldn't get the win in the early game here. Tough to come back against BDS.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, it has been BDS's MO just to continuously... Game one is typically the weakest. And then by the time we hit game three, it's like the download's complete. They've got the read. And then it starts to look a little bit ugly for their opponents. So it is up to Karmine Corp just to settle this one down. They did incredibly well here. Do not let this loss really affect them too much, because for the most part, it was good. It was right. And they just needed the finishing. And they could also have done with BDS maybe not always being right in front of them for it. We'll see what they've got over here in game number two. Promising start here from both teams. Who's going to be able to capitalize on it more?
Great shot.
Oh, my goodness.
The speed that Extra attacked that ball with completely left Karmine Corp as spectators in the play. Extra also quickly up to keep the ball in his back corner. Sent back into the middle, but Itachi knew there's really no point going for this. It is just going to go clear, and you've got to be still pinpoint with your passes in this kind of matchup. Monkey Moon clearly on his game today, reading absolutely everything that's happening. You need to just get the ball past him. You can't try too hard to just directly score. You've got to go for the wide outplay or the high outplay, and then just hope that a teammate can follow up.
Oh, Monkey Moon's past one, almost got it past the second as well, and now it's Astral on the counterattack. No, instantly beats the ball by Extra. Extra is playing no nonsense today. Just making sure that he is outpacing everybody else. This is so important though from Nolly. A little bit of breathing room for Karmine Corp. How long is it going to last for? Instantly, the ball's put back into their own side of the field. Off the ceiling. Nolly over there in support. Seiko's got all the time in the world. Well, he had a little bit of it, and then he got annihilated.
Yeah, it's another good try there by Karmine Corp. They're creating half chances, but BDS are so solid. It looks like you're playing Rocket League in hard mode trying to get the ball past these guys. Always one man to beat. And Monkey Moon's, I mean, his car looks about as wide as his nameplate there. How are you supposed to get past him when he's playing this well and reading everything you do?
Just confirm as well, if BDS do win this series, then they are qualified for London. The surprise of nobody really in the world. It does almost feel like a matter of time. I'm sure they want that sorted out nice and early before heading over to Championship Sunday.
You got high standards, high goal.
They're a team that can confirm London whilst other teams are still trying to confirm their spot in the next regional.
Seiko actually getting back to the ball that he initially had taken away from him. Now Nolly, patience. Still not able to get the ball past Monkey Moon, who has been a dominating presence. And we haven't even seen anything wild out of Seiko yet. That's always something you have to worry about. Oh, that could have been it. It's a mind game. Monkey Moon has credited the goal. But I think the defense were all looking at Seiko, wondering where his touch was going to go. And the missed touch actually ended up being just as effective.
Every single week, we see more and more of this. Just send the player and make the defender guess. At that point, it's a 50-50.
Great fake, yeah.
And you will more often than not assume he's got that.
Well, of course he can. I mean, Seiko, he knows that the slightest touch possible on that ball will accelerate it to a ridiculous rate of knots that won't be possible to react to. And if he misses, then that's just as good, because how is the goalkeeper supposed to read it? So really good decision making there by Seiko. The biggest mistake that a lot of players make in that position is going for the redirect no matter what and actually getting too thick of a touch on it, sometimes hitting the ball wide, sometimes slowing it down as it goes past, and ending up being easier for the goalkeeper to deal with.
Here is Seiko, gets the pass, extra pre-jump.
Oh my.
BDS are showing everything that makes them great.
Yeah, extra jumping in the exact same moment that Seiko hands the ball off to him here. They just know what is happening whenever Seiko's touching the ball, and their opponents can't read it. I mean, Seiko has been mentioned over the entire year now as the player who's just so difficult to read, so difficult to play against. But he's not difficult to play with, at least for this BDS team. Extra Monkey Men seem to be just fine. That should be one back though, and it is. Nolly, yelling it comes, it is already on target. It actually lets it go by.
Let's have a look what happened on the defense. Monkey Moon and extra over in the corner, and Seiko loitering in the midfield. So for once, just getting out of sync over there over on BDS. But Karmine Corp will take it. Gives them at least a decent amount of time to play with when it comes to getting this extra goal. Here is Monkey Moon, the reset, not up to his standards. End up flopping past it. Nolly does have options infield. That's a great bouncing ball. Double commit, however. And they had to take that away from BDS because if they lost that challenge, it was going to be 3-1.
Yeah, Karmine Corp getting a little bit too tightly knit in these plays, and it's difficult to know immediately whose ball that is. Such an unconventional pass from Nolly. You've just got to jump immediately to have any chance to catch up to it. But both players did jump, which is not ideal. We saw a couple of double commits like that from Karmine Corp at the end of game number 1. Seeing them in game number 2 as well. That has to be my number 1 problem with the way that they play. Sometimes they get a bit too close to each other, and it's just difficult to play off intuition alone. You have to rely on comms in those tight positions to know exactly who's going for what.
Oh, extra bumps into it. Actually, there almost was a bump set. Seiko ends up flying straight past it. Nolly tasked with clearing. He's unable to. And extra. Oh my goodness. Has to watch as Astral kept it out first time. But there is no support for the second.
Yeah, Nolly had absolutely no boost here. He just had to make contact. Astral somehow saves it, but it's right back into the middle for Monkey Moon to score. Extra making it as easy as possible there. But that was a ridiculous save. I'm not sure how Astral managed to bounce that one off the inside of his own post to keep it out of the net initially. BDS pressure, just too good though. They always had the follow-up.
Yeah, they have been the quicker of the two teams when it comes to follows. Here's Seiko off the fake initially. Now again, still downfield. You can tell from BDS, just their ability to read the game on the transition is still as good as it's always been. There's not a rush. They understand that not everyone's just going to try and instantly get the ball going to your side of the field. So they're happy to loiter, happy to give themselves options. The one option that Karmine Corp might need to be looking at right now is that timeout. They're down by 2. Do they take it now, or do they wait until after the next game?
Yeah, it's a good question. Because even if they do call a timeout now, what on earth are you going to change? This BDS roster just look unbelievable. You mentioned there that if they win this series, they're qualified for London, and I think they might be the only team in Europe at the moment who are looking at nothing else but a win. I mean, anything less than a win in London would be a failure for this for BDS after picking up Seiko, star player in the EU. K-Corp have called the timeout though. They're going to try and figure this one out. Or at least to slow some of the momentum that BDS built up in that game. For me, it's just got to be giving each other a little bit more space. I really liked how patient they were in game 1. They weren't rushing their opportunities. They probably know we're going to need to set up 20 attacks against BDS before one of them goes in. But they were doing that. They were just taking their time, setting up opportunities, and they were not double committing. And it was only right at the very end of the game we saw back-to-back 2 double commits, and suddenly BDS take the game. It's game number 2, I think. Karmine Corp have started to feel that pressure that BDS just put on all their opponents. Sort of like the impending doom when you play them. You just feel as if nothing is working, nothing is going to work, and you have to push yourself to the limit. And the way they've decided to do that is by bunching up and just rushing every single play. I think they've got to do the opposite. I think they just have to accept that it's going to be difficult. It's going to take time to get goals, but you've got to avoid double committing at all costs.
And I think as well, this is a very important moment for the Karmine Corp coaching staff to make sure that they set this up in the right direction, because if the call is to start playing faster, you're going to get more of those mistakes. You're maybe going to go away from what Karmine Corp were doing well. So when we do bring up these timeouts, typically, we've always seen the right thing said. We typically see a very good bounce back from the team that called it. But for me, this is on a swivel. You need right now to say the right thing and push your team in the right direction, because if the call is aggression, this could be over very quickly.
Yeah, they've got to just keep on playing the ball in defense as well. It's really difficult to do that especially when you've got Seiko coming at you. He's constantly threatening multiple different angles. He's threatening an outplay, he's threatening a solid 50-50, and he's threatening a mind game at the same time on every single dribble or air dribble. So how are you supposed to cover all of that? Well, you can't. You just got to pick the most realistic thing to cover. And I think against Seiko and against BDS, you just have to go the ball. If they outplay you, they outplay you. It happens. But don't let the mind game go through. Don't let the fake, the 50-50 go right through a wild dunk attempt. Can Karmine Corp make the correct adjustments? And would those adjustments matter against a team like BDS? We're about to find out.
Yeah, that's the truly horrible bit about all of this, is that everything could have just been said that was completely correct, and it might not change anything. That's the level that BDS work with. Do have extra looking for that backboard. Oh, Nolly. That was a difficult read to get, but he played that immaculately. With the pass out to Astral, not really, I would imagine, initially part of the plan. There's now Nolly with Itachi. He sees him, and Itachi is just swarmed by blue cards before he can take the shot.
Yeah, Monkey Moon credited with a save there. I think Itachi did get his shot off, but not before Monkey Moon could block it. Those are the kind of half chances that we're seeing from Karmine Corp every now and again. Oh my goodness, what a mind game by Itachi. That was incredibly brave to just let that one roll in front of the net.
Yeah, that is also very quick use of bull cam and reverse cam. Just make sure you've seen everything. Now Seiko back to his own corner yet again. But they're under a lot more pressure this time. A lot of boost deals as well. Karmine Corp are dealing with that better now. The shot extra does keep it out, but now shot after shot should start be peppered in. Itachi can't get it off first time around, off the post. And it seems like it's back to game 1, at least in terms of shooting accuracy for Karmine Corp.
And they were very close there. One shot denied from close range. Astral really tested the keeper, but I was more impressed as well with the pre-jump in the next play that they've managed to connect, just going wide. And now infield to Astral, places it bottom right, but even that's covered. They're trying everything here. They're trying power, they're trying placement, they're trying passing, they're trying just direct shots. And BDS are stopping everything.
Still 0-0 for them. But you cannot accuse Karmine Corp of at least not mixing it up and varying. Just nothing works. And they'll hope that something eventually does. Tachi reset. Does have Nolly midfield. This is maybe my one knock on Karmine Corp is that a lot of their players are starting in the midfield and they're getting passed to the midfield. Makes it a lot easier for BDS to read. As Astral, oh, wait a second. Finally, caught BDS out. That is a monster shot.
He had to start that run a long time before the touch came through. He was in the midfield in the perfect position. Well played to get that on target at pace. Didn't even have a full canister of boost when he got started with that one. Karmine Corp take the lead. They're looking to add to it. Crossbar denies.
First time Karmine Corp have got the lead as well, so we'll get to see what they can do with it and how BDS are going to try and respond. As much as we have been seeing BDS's praises, they've been against it in this game. Tachi makes it too, and Karmine Corp are finding the rewards for their offense.
Brilliant back post lob there from Astral. Anything in field actually would have been covered. That's exactly what Seiko was expecting. He moved towards the near post area, ready for the infield pass. Astral lobbed it over the top of him, and it wasn't too high to go out of reach. 2-0 Karmine Corp.
Timeout buff seems to be working effectively yet again. Although, that's a bad spot. Nolly, I hope you can do well. Unfortunately, he could do nothing. 2-1. And Karmine Corp stuck sending 2 forward when they had a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, extra. Just taking one for the team there. Double demo, and the ball rolls in for Seiko. Karmine Corp with 1 overextension, and there's really nothing Nolly can do there in the last man back position. There's definitely something he can do. First up on this play, Monkeyman gets in the way of him. Now it's infield to Astral. It's hit the bar, and Monkeyman has cleared it. What a rifle it was, though, from Astral. Like you mentioned before, they're mixing up their plays. They're shooting, they're lobbing, they're directly passing. The tempo pace or the pace changes from Karmine Corp have been brilliant. Been much harder for BDS to read. But can they do this consistently? They've got a long way back in this series.
Certainly so. Extra leaves it. At least Seiko maybe not expecting that first time round. Nolly booms the clear. I was complaining about this going down the middle every single time, but it's still working. So, despite the fact that it has been somewhat obvious, Karmine Corp going to keep getting plays from it. Why change it?
That shot left a bit to be desired. Nolly kind of messing up the power on that last one. It looked like the goalkeeper is under pressure as well. But with a minute to go, they still lead.
Astral is not, again, they're up with a goal lead and they're still sending players downfield. Karmine Corp have no fear.
Yeah, brilliant awareness by Nolly, completely catching Monkeyman off guard with that break of rotation. Monkeyman thought he had time to get behind this one. Suddenly Nolly, instead of rotating back towards his own half, just cuts across the midfield, centers the ball for 3-1.
It's like lower side of the Premier League over here, Johnny. We just see the teams.
Oh my goodness!
Nolly! What? How have you done that?
Nolly just got bumped off the back wall by Seiko, but he cancels his momentum by flipping on the spot and clears the ball that was on target. That save was next level.
I really want to push that for top goals of the day. Like, they needs to be changed to top plays. That was ridiculous, Nolly. And that has kept his team with the 2-goal lead that they desperately needed. What
Crazy.
an answer. And the coaching staff over at Karmine Corp need a big amount of kudos from this as well. They have looked outstanding here in Game 3.
Yeah, they've really just used space a lot more effectively. Saw an Aquadome many, many times. They're getting all bunched up, and the ball would pop up high, 2 people fly for it, and really, what's that doing against BDS? Nothing. You've got to spread out. You've got to make it easy on each other. You've got to make it possible to threaten multiple options. And I think the main threat that Karmine Corp posed in this game that we didn't see in the previous games were those downfield lobs, those crossfield lobs that allow the fast aerial players like Astral and even Nolly as well, cutting rotation to surprise Monkeyman for the 3rd goal. Those kind of lobbed passes are great when you've got players who are so quick and innate and able to redirect like these guys are. But can they keep it up?
I've been told by our producer, by the way,
really
it absolutely qualifies for top 3 plays. So yeah, we're putting that one in over there. Wow. I mean, what a shout that was. It was just send it to the big man downfield and see what they can do. They could do magic every single time. The only question really is, can that be done again? I say you just keep going for it until BDS start to respond. And even if you do get the response from BDS, it means you force them to sit deeper. That suddenly unlocks the individual plays for Karmine Corp.
Yeah, they're definitely not a one-trick pony here. They're going to have other options available to them. Even in that last game, we saw plenty of direct shots and plenty of passes. So that's their main mix-up right now. But when it comes to solo plays, these guys have definitely got the ability there as well. So plenty options for these guys. That was a miss, though, from... it's actually in defense, I believe, or was it Astral? These guys in the Octanes, lovely matching uniforms here, but they'd have to stay so consistent. If they drop off their level for 1 second, BDS are going to punish them. We've seen it time and time again. BDS are not pushing themselves to the limit right now. They're just playing their consistent game. Karmine Corp are being forced to level up. They're being forced to peak almost. So just have a chance in the matchup.
But Karmine Corp are doing a great job of making sure that this is not just the BDS procession on their way over to London. Itachi, what on earth? Karmine Corp, we waited all season for this, and it was worth the wait.
Perfect pass. No more to say about it. Astral just delivers it to Itachi, who didn't think twice about slamming that over the top of Extra. No chance for the keeper. Karmine Corp continuing that game 2 momentum. Game 3 momentum, I should say.
So important that Seiko intercepted that as well. Nolly leaves it. Did have Itachi over to help him out. This is the level up from Karmine Corp. This is a team that looks horrifying to play against. Let's get half a shot, and they are turning it in now off the backboard. Nolly needs to get the power clear. And even try and follow it up, although he is running out of boost, and Seiko kind of called him out on his bluff there. Allowed it to be played all the way into the back corner. Extra with Seiko looking to try and do to Karmine what Karmine have done to BDS.
It's open.
Although that's open.
Oh,
Monkey Moon!
Whoa! Pre-flip save by Monkey Moon. He was in a lot of trouble there, but the shot was not powerful enough to go past him. He continues to be that impossible player to get past. Saying that, Nolly's just done so. Karmine Corp swarming.
Karmine Corp are always leaving options open. Here's Monkey Moon with Seiko chasing down Itachi, and nothing that Itachi could do.
They've done it again. It's that same play that we just saw in the previous game. This time, Seiko chasing down the last man. And oh dear, Karmine Corp, you're going to need to have 2 players back in every single play, because if you're in a 1v2, you're getting demoed.
It's just been an impeccable clash of styles here. And lovely to see both teams having brilliant ideas about what works for themselves. Nolly straight over to Monkey Moon, chasing down. Well, because that chase down, Monkey Moon couldn't quite pass it off the way he would like to. Now Nolly, here's the individual play. Very heavy first touch, but still makes the most of it. He just jumped the ball up above the oncoming challenge. Nolly now back to his own corner. Wants to do the BDS. A little bit of their own defensive play. 1-1, 2 minutes left. Itachi leaves it off the backboard. Astral realizes not worth diving on in. Taking a bit of your advice there, Johnny. Don't leave the 2v1, but it still might have happened off the backboard. Who's there? Monkey Moon didn't have the angle for the shot.
Yeah, for once, Extra's pass goes a bit too far away from Monkey Moon, so what would have been a great decision to surprise the defense by just passing off the backboard. Actually, he ends up going too far away. BDS offense fizzles, and Itachi's actually sent down target. Monkey Moon having to stretch his legs out once again. As he does so, he takes control and takes the ball past a couple players, buys his teammates so much time to reposition.
Yeah, Monkey Moon does a great job of just setting up for the worst case scenario for his team. And the only thing he would be disappointed at is that he's had to react to the worst case scenario quite a few times. Rather than being able to set himself up for an offensive rebound or just getting to that ball next. Oh, pinch
my.
against the floor by Astral. Did this defensively earlier on as well. This is something they've been practicing.
Like, to generate a pinch from that kind of position where neither Astral nor the ball has a ton of momentum to work with, and he's aiming it. He's actually aiming that. It's really quite crazy to watch. If there's one thing Karmine Corp are not, it's predictable. These guys are impossible to read, and they, might make life difficult in each other at times, but this is something you can't really teach in Pro Rocket League. How do you teach a player to be unpredictable? You could definitely teach formation, you could teach communication, you could teach all the other things that Karmine Corp have lacked in the past, but these guys have got all the flair in the world, and they might have a lead here. Yes, they do. Itachi didn't need any help to shoot from distance. And with 31 seconds left, they lead once again.
And Nolly just started in the midfield and chased after the original demo. That is how much faith they have in each other, just to make sure that midfield play is always going to go well. Karmine Corp have bounced back. They're 30 seconds away from tying up the series. Although that's not the bounce they would have wanted off the challenge. Astral to Nolly. Again, Monkey Moon has to play with his back turned to his opponent's goal.
Yeah, what a regain from Karmine Corp, even mentally, to come back from 2 games down against BDS. And it wasn't a close game too either. Incredible stuff to see from a team that have struggled all season, but they're not over that game 4 finish line just yet. We saw a long 0-second play earlier between Team Liquid and Moist. We're not going to see one here. Karmine Corp ground it, and we will be all tied up going into game 5. BDS have still got that timeout available, but something tells me that they're not going to want to use it. They're not really the team who go to the timeouts to try and fix their issues.
I mean, we haven't seen them use it in the past, but they do have new coaching staff sort of at the forefront. Maybe that'll be a new sort of philosophy brought in. I guess that is something that we will wait to see. No calls over here just yet for that timeout, though. The games have still been incredibly close, but for Karmine Corp, this is what you have wanted, and I keep reiterating this. This is what we waited for. This is what we were saying. Regional 1 all the way back at the start of the season. This is the Karmine Corp we were waiting to see. It's taken some chopping and changing over on the personnel, but my goodness, we have got a monster lurking around in the brackets.
It's crazy to see. When Stake gets switched out for Nolly, you're not adding consistency to the team. Nolly is not a player that's known for being that rock at the back, but we've got to give him full credit. Just like Seiko has adapted to Team BDS, Nolly has adapted to Karmine Corp. He doesn't now need to be the player who's confusing the other team. He's got Astral on his team. He's got Itachi on his team. He needs to just solidify and be a consistent player. But, I mean, they are a triple threat as well. They've got all the benefits of a great Rocket League team at the moment. They're a triple threat. Everybody's scary in solo plays. They're all fast. They're all great mechanical players. And their only real weakness seems to be occasional double commits from getting a bit too close to each other on the field. And that's not really been happening the past 2 games. Ever since that timeout, they've fixed their issues.
So just got confirmation as well from our Statsman Direct. That was the lowest amount we've ever seen from Extra when it comes to points. He's going to get a lot more this time around with the opening goal. I didn't want to mention it previously because I just didn't think it was right. I couldn't imagine a world where Extra finished a 5-minute game with 50 points.
Yeah, it was either a greedy play there from Astral or a bit of a misread on the bounce. He tried to get that one on target. Extra arrived on the scene a bit faster than he was expecting and didn't just block the shot. He actually scored with the same blocking touch. So great start there from Extra. Adding some points to his tally. And he's going to try and keep doing that. He's got Stake over help and he gets another demo. Not as obvious as the last game, but just as effective, flipping in front of the ball to take Nolly out the frame.
Ridiculous.
Oh, it's Itachi actually. He took Itachi out. Nolly just got...
Nolly was there just to be blinded by the explosion afterwards. There was nothing he could do. Well, that's BDS for you. We thought they were up against it. And they are right back to a 2. Yep, still 2-goal lead. Ashton and the rest of Karmine Corp need to do what they have done throughout this series and bounce back. And what a save that is. Could have done with the follow-up shot. Wasn't around for Karmine Corp. And because that was a little sloppy play, it has given BDS back control of the territory. Extra backs down for now. Saw Astral over on the backboard. Monkey Moon, has he got the reset? No, backs down instantly. Seiko with his own opportunity. That was a first touch that was maybe a lot lower than he really wanted. But it's just have a go after you for BDS. Karmine Corp just looking at defense and nothing else. This scoreline, not a position they want to be in. Maybe Itachi can finally get rid. There's a double commit as well. They needed that to go a bit better. Nolly's already back down. This is such an awkward spot to be in, though.
Yeah, Karmine Corp know that they have to break out at some point, but they're not really in a rush yet. They've still got just under 3 minutes remaining. And once they can get the ball into midfield, they look great. When they get the ball into the final third, they look phenomenal. But you might have noticed there a double commit from Karmine Corp in defense. It didn't result in anything too bad happening, but they have to avoid that at all costs. They've got to keep up what they were doing so well in game number 3 and game number 4, and even game number 1 at the start. They've, for the majority of this series, played brilliantly, and they've communicated effectively to allow each other to read each other and just let their mechanics do the talking, let their mechanics and their flair cause problems for BDS. But can they do all that while also playing as a unit? Can they do all that with structure? As Nolly fires from distance, that was open. It was a tough shot to get off quickly, and he did end up missing it.
Yeah, that was just circumstantial that it came over to him, and you're not going to get many of those sort of chances throughout a series like this. Especially not when you're down by 2. There's a bit of a gimme there. Nolly looks to try and make up for it. It's going to bounce away from him. Does still a little bit of boost. Karmine Corp's opportunity now. Can they lock this down, and can they get the play going? We haven't seen many Karmine Corp goals come from long stretches of the ball. It has been the counter-attack that's been most effective for them. And this one's not going to be too much different. BDS pretty calmly deal with the situation.
The BDS are quite happy sitting on this 2-goal lead, but look at these deflections, these redirects from Karmine Corp. They continue to catch BDS off guard by appearing in the side of the screen, appearing from the blind spots and taking the ball away from them. It's a good first touch from Astral, but with no boost, really, what can he do in the back corner? Not going to be easy to get past anyone in the world from that position. Never mind Monkey Moon. Seiko, flip reset past 1. Itachi does well to keep that out of danger, but with just over a minute to go, the shots from Karmine Corp are just not coming regularly enough, or they come back to be threatened.
Nothing from BDS. Not going to get that second. They probably should have done. I have no idea how Seiko managed to get underneath the ball rather than over the top of it. But with a 2-goal lead, I'm sure it's not going to haunt him as long as his team can close this out. Itachi fakes up the first-time shot, infield pass, and Monkey Moon. Well, tell me if you've heard this one before. Read the game perfectly.
Yeah, it was a great play by Itachi to fake the shot and instead catch the ball to threaten the infield dribble. But like you mentioned, Monkey Moon all over it, one step ahead. Staying active in the play is what Monkey Moon's about. He doesn't want to wait for his opponents to make a play and then have to go and react to it. He closes distance constantly. He cuts off angles. He forces them to make the play more quickly than they're wanting to. Now, he's going to try and make it 3. Not able to, but nearly. Astral actually pulls out a great save to deny BDS that 3-goal lead. Not that they need it. As the time ticks away, we're going to game number 6 and BDS back in front.
I think that pretty much puts to rest any chances that we might have seen a BDS timeout at some point in this series. Can't see them taking it going into a Game 7. They are a team that likes to continue the flow of their series. As for Karmine Corp, I mean, I don't know what to take from them in this game. It looked like it just went really badly before they even woke up for this game. And by that time, BDS had already run away with it and could just settle down on the lead.
Just that one mistake from Astral. He didn't need to play that 50-50 so greedily. He was trying to get the beat on Extra, but really, he just has to accept that it's a 50-50 there. He might have thought that he had a backup on the play, but when you're entering into those kind of positions where you might get dunked on, just simply having a player behind you is not all you need to be thinking about. You also need to think, is this a safe angle? Am I coming in from goal side? Or could this just fly into our net if it goes wrong, which is exactly what happened. So I don't think Karmine Corp need to take those risks. They've done, I think, great in this matchup, just playing for safe outplays and recovering as quickly as possible. Letting, I think, their mechanics do the work for them instead of relying on risky plays. like that Astral play was. He just got dunked on by Extra, and then Extra went and demoed someone else on the goal line for a second goal. BDS, every time they demo someone on the goal line, follow it up with a goal. 3 games in a row now. They just need one more to take it in 6 and advance to the winner final tomorrow.
Waiting for them over in that winners final is Team Liquid with a career best performance from not only their players but from the org itself. Finally seeing some success over there, and they'll look to try and keep that going tomorrow. Nolly off the challenge, and it has gone in. Nolly solos BDS.
Yeah, he got past Monkey Moon. Seiko wasn't back to help out, and look at Nolly leaning forward underneath the ball to bump Extra. Just as Extra was coming to make contact with the save, he was so close. Extra just a pixel away from hitting that, but Nolly bumps him out of the way.
And for completionist's sake, waiting in the lower bracket is Guild. So if things stay as it was looking like it was going to in this series, we would have had the Nolly versus Guild return. But he doesn't want that right now. He wants to play Liquid. He wants that upper bracket finals. He certainly showed it with that first goal. Now Itachi to make it 2. Nolly with the extra chance. This is one of the rare times Karmine Corp sent all 3.
Wow.
And it has worked.
Karmine Corp sends blood in the water here. BDS, we're getting half clears, half saves. Seiko barely blocking Nolly on that one. Extra couldn't recover to block the follow-up shot. Itachi makes it 2. This is exciting from Karmine Corp. They're in a great position here. Can they solidify? Can they avoid those double commits? Can they avoid those risky plays, those misplays that have plagued them? And they've just managed to do so. Last-ditch save by Itachi keeps the 2-goal lead intact.
And now that we're away from the kickoff, they can start to settle down into their own rotation as Itachi try to pre-flip into the ball. It's a role reversal. Uno reverse from Karmine Corp. They were the ones up against this in the previous game. Now they've got the early goals. BDS settled down incredibly well in this spot. Karmine Corp will look to do much the same. Extra pops the ball into the air. Nobody around to help out. Oh, that's a bit risky from Nolly. Didn't get the clear. Seiko will finish it off. But this all came from Nolly's misplay.
And Nolly was trying to go for a defensive flip reset there. Itachi didn't want to dive in too soon before Nolly was done, but really, they've just got to get the ball out of a dangerous area at that point. You have to go. You have to do something. Because if you don't, BDS will. There's great patience from BDS to walk that open net into the top
in the
corner.
Spot here.
Itachi's pre-jumped Monkey Moon, though. Great save. BDS have definitely upped the pace now. They are done waiting for Karmine Corp mistakes. They are trying to force them.
Karmine Corp are almost on no boost at all. Finally a player back up to 100. And it is Astral that was tasked with getting rid of the danger. You can see now the rest of the team sorting themselves back out. Itachi was still on 0 though by the time he turned up to the play. Good shot. Where's the follow? Nolly shut down by Monkey Moon. Something I'm sure he's got a bit sick of throughout this series. Now Itachi off the backboard. Karmine Corp understand that there's a lot of time left in this game. They can't afford to just accept the 1-goal lead. Not against a team like BDS. Although Nolly, unconventional shot. Didn't really test BDS's defense too much. And oh no, the lead has disappeared.
And it's another mistake from KC. They just didn't cover the 3rd-man position. Astral advanced, and he had to identify the danger there. He needed to stay back. They already had the lead intact. But he advanced into the offensive position, and the worst possible thing has happened. BDS have just shot from distance, and now they might be able to add to that. Monkey Moon forces it under 1. Seiko's there to follow up. BDS have come back from 2 goals down, and they've done it quickly.
Take a look at just how quickly Seiko turned up, and he stopped. He knew that that was the only way that ball was going to go straight over to him. And just like that, the 2-goal lead has disappeared and turned into a 1-goal deficit. BDS on the verge of not only winners finals, but also London.
Yeah, it's a heartbreak for Karmine Corp. This is not the way they would have wanted to go. They have not waited for BDS to outplay them. They've kind of outplayed themselves in the setup for that one. I think the timing of Karmine Corp outplaying themselves has definitely been less regular than what we became used to this season, but it's still too often. You can't be making those mistakes at this level. Can they claw their way back? And luckily for them, the fact that BDS came back so quickly gives them some more time to work with.
Astral off the challenge. They have Itachi midfield. Those infield passes, though, just not resulting in anything this series. Infield passes just turn into taking a 50-50. And hoping that you've got somebody to follow up immediately afterwards. Drop down, Itachi off the 50. Seiko shuts it down immediately. Now off the backboard, Monkey Moon happy to see that one pop over to him. Itachi wants the solo play. Does have Nolly over on the wall. Monkey Moon will just guide it swiftly away from his own net. And every single touch BDS gets is more agonizing seconds taken off the clock for Karmine Corp. They are trying. Itachi's not in the best position. Does turn around very well. And Astral off the solo. Nolly was harassing Extra on the goal line, but Extra escapes and gets the stop.
Yeah, what a save there by Extra. Completely reading Astral. He knew that he was playing for a reset flick there because it was a faster play. It was not on target at the time. Karmine Corp not done just yet, but they might be soon. BDS are so good at wasting the time off the clock. They're playing such a safe 50-50 game. Karmine Corp had to be clinical earlier on. They're going to need to be even more clinical now.
Seiko almost finds the throw. Oh, there we go. Monkey Moon will probably secure the series. And it's all of this from Seiko. Fakes out, going for a first-time shot. And you can even see Seiko in the background. He wanted to find someone to demo. Couldn't find anything. Didn't end up mattering. 4-2. BDS on their way to upper finals.
Yeah, big miss hit from Astral there. Tried to power the ball clear, but he completely lacked any kind of power in the touch. So it just went right towards Monkey Moon. Shame for Karmine Corp. These little mistakes are what's letting them down here. They looked very competitive in this matchup today. And, you know, with how dominant BDS have been in every match we've seen them play with Seiko in the roster, I still think overall there is a lot to take away from this series for Karmine Corp. A lot of positives to take away from this, but they have to quickly rally. They're going to be playing lower bracket later on today against Nolly's old team Guild, so that's going to be a spicy one.